G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a two-shot Broadsider with plus 50% VATS hit chance. That has been buffed since the last couple of patches ago from 33 to plus 50, which is good stuff, and plus 1 agility. So we're going to be using this in VATS quite a lot because that is how you get the most damage out of these. Now I could go and use quad on this thing, but everyone loves quad too much at the moment. You need to calm down, alright? You need to calm down with quad. Two-shot better on launcher type weapons. You know why? Because that explosion is duplicated. The projectile damage is barely anything on the Broadsider, so if you've got crit damage here, it's basically a dummy roll. So you definitely want something to help out with that to get hit chance, because it'll make it a little bit more consistent. You could also go with fire rate if you want to maximize the DPS, but I think in terms of how to use this weapon effectively, the hit chance it's a must-have right there. Inertia would be cool too, but we'll go with this. So we've got a standard barrel giving us 344 damage. If you want to change that to a light barrel, or reduce this at the cost of reducing this, which is not good. Got a comfort grip and a multi-shot canister. That means my magazine size is 3, and that's pretty good. And we get a little bit more accuracy out of this thing to bolster our VATS hit chance. Let's go ahead and chuck on some perks. Now, I've got 5 ranks in Gunsmith and a rank in First Aid because I needed something there, and I don't think I was going to chuck on Chemist or Expert Hacker, so we'll chuck on First Aid. So if we want a Gemist Impact to stay alive, it'll be a little bit more effective, but mostly it's these two here to damage, because if you chuck on, for example, 612, remember that, Heavy Gunner, that's Bullet Shield. Heavy Gunner does nothing, so it leaves you with like a pile of perks you can use here. Now, unlike all of the other launchers in the game, this one's not going to help you here in terms of reducing the weight of the ammo. So you can get away with not using that, which leaves you an extra 3, which I think is quite a good thing. So we'll grab Lock and Load, and we'll grab Blocker for sure, and then Barbarian, so we're nice and tanky, which leaves us a little bit more Bullet Shield. We're not going to be firing and holding down the trigger. You could use Power Armor here, but I'm opting not to because I've got a dense chest piece as well as Fireproof, making me pretty much immune to explosions. So we'll just chuck in Basher there. So if anything gets too close, we can give them a blood nose before we blow them to smithereens. But here's the big thing here. This perk right here, this perk, it actually works now with explosive launches. So we might actually see the Broadsider be able to take on the dreaded Scorchbeast, which previously did absolutely nothing to. So that's good. We've also got Concentrated Fire to zero him on limbs. You could probably get away with not using that at all, but it's nice to target the legs once in a while, just to, if the explosion radius isn't big enough, which it should be with this, but you can sort of use the Broadsider with it. Glow sight's there, it's kind of helpful. Anyways, 612 damage as a Mylock outside my house. Let's go. Okay, so here we are inside of Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and just to get this out of the way, let's see the effects of this thing with and without Grenadier, because I think the art explosion changed, right? Notice it's a little bit of a firecracker in the middle of the room there. Once we chuck on Grenadier, it's a big boom. It's like a frag grenade going off. Now, in comparison, we should probably put this weapon against something like a auto grenade launcher. I had one with similar rolls on the other day, so I think you'll understand. That's a one-shot kill. Nice. Put 2 giant cannonballs right up that dog's ass. And yeah, that is why we want to go VATS, because I hit that guy square in the chest that time and no dice. But as you can tell, it's got the one-shot kill potential, which is really good. Really good. I don't think a quad could have this one-shot kill potential. Obviously, the ammo capacity ain't going to be super flash at only 3, but that's okay. We've got the necessary perks to reload this faster, as well as mutations, so I'll think we'll be okay. Okay, that guy survived. So it doesn't seem to be 100% one-shotting every single thing that you shoot at, but I think it's given itself a well-needed boost with its ability of covering a whole wide range and area with its splash damage. There we go. That was 2 for the price of 2, which means 1 for the price of 1. I basically one-shotted those 2 together, so that was good. Just gives it a little bit more of an edge in crowd control situations, really. Whether I'd take this over a auto grenade launcher? I don't think so. It's been pretty impressive so far. That might be a good drop, actually. No, it's just the one, so I'm going to drop that before I'm over capacity. What are you looking at? That's what I thought. And, yeah, that dog was a lot closer to the ground, so I'm thinking we might have to pull the old trick of shooting him in the kneecaps to maximize damage. Although, maybe that's just because I've got slightly lower damage resistances, or significantly lower than other super mutants. Regardless, we'll target the legs of each one now. Well, that certainly seemed to get a lot more damage, but we're kind of half dead at the moment, so adrenal reaction would be kicking in. If I had nerd rage, we're basically halfway there. There we go. So that one survived when the other one didn't. So just feeling a little bit inconsistent. Up close and personal, this thing's gonna do pretty well, and the only way to survive being this close to your own explosions would be to have... There we go, there's the ammo capacity screwing us over. But we need the dense chest piece here to keep us alive, because if we didn't have it, well, I'll probably pull the chest piece off for a second just to demonstrate this if we know we're done. Yeah, we're done. So if I'm not wearing this... That was deep-pocketed, that was dense. Instant kill. So that's why we're outside of power armor, because you can't get these effects inside of power armor. Alright, I suppose we'll go ahead and redo the test we did last time, trying to get the giant explosion radius to murder all the ghouls at once. So we'll pop in, and we'll start making a mess. Now, I've got the basher perk on, so I'm going to hit that one. For I doubled up on the bash damage somehow. Care to explain that one, Todd Howard? No, he's not here. He's not here for commenting. But we can assume that he would have just said something like, it works. It works just, or it just works. Kind of the same thing, but we'll keep on aggroing everything. We'll use this moment right here to outpath the ghouls. Run around them, get me AP back so I can sprint outside. It's a very high traffic zone here, but that's okay, because I've got the blocker perk. Just having a look for the deer, just in case it draws their aggro. Alright, on the dance floor, everyone. We have a good dance. And if we want to break their pathing, we'll just run around this net, because apparently the feral ghouls, they're mad bastards that run faster than Usain Bolt on Psychojet, and also methamphetamine, but they are thwarted by a simple net. They wouldn't make the best tennis players. That's why they call the place a golf club, despite having a tennis court right there. Completely different sport, I reckon. Anyways, that should be just about enough. We'll go stand in the corner and pray that we're able to get out of there. So, oh my god, they're jumping. You know what, I'm going to stim pack here, just so I can gather them all in. Alright, we're almost to the time. It's building up. We've been at this for a while. Actually, this kind of reminds me of seeing gameplay of really high levels of COD zombies. They kind of make it this easy for you, and they're tripping each other up in their pathing. Alright, I will delay no longer. Oh, that felt good. Too bad we couldn't see any of that. And when the dust cleared, there were no ghouls left. Except for maybe a straggler. This guy saw the whole thing. He doesn't know what to do. We'll ding him from long range. I think these might travel a little bit quicker than the... They've got an initial velocity that's quicker than the grenades, but they get affected by gravity a lot more because they're giant lead balls. So, yeah. It seems to be fairly similar to the auto grenade launcher, so we'll continue this test in killing other things, like Behemoths and stuff. So used to seeing Becca in this outfit. Miranda stole Becca's clothes for this. Just kidding, she borrowed them. Canonically, they all exist in the same universe, instead of only one can exist at one time. Alright, so far so good. The crackheads here are kind of squishy, so if they aren't going down in one shot, then we're in trouble. As you can tell, even though half of these shots are kind of roughies, 60 to 70%, we're hitting most of them, thanks to my enhanced not enhanced perception, but enhanced VATS effect. It's a VATS enhanced the secondary legendary effect. The title would allude to that. Now, we've probably got full adrenaline at this point, so no more time left to dilly-dally here. We'll go for the leg just in case the explosions is too big for that, but see how we go. Oh yeah, that's a 2-shot kill. I like it. I think this thing has a slightly higher rate of fire than the 2-shot auto grenade launcher as well, or the auto grenade launcher in general. So, you know, a little bit more DPS, like a CIS strike bomber in Star Wars Battlefront 2, 2005, the one that looked like General Grievous's ship. I realized I could have worn, like, the pirate outfit that was going around when the Halloween event was going on at White Springs, where you gotta blow up the cars or something. Did we not kill that one? Wowee, lucky you. Weren't tough enough to survive that. So that would have been more fitting. We're just like a barbarian running around with a cannonball launcher. It makes sense if you think about it. Oh yeah, 3-shot kill on the Mylurk King, very nice. Some crackheads down there. We got a 0% shot there. I'm guessing we landed the projectile near them enough. And there we go. Heat-seeking missiles instead of cannonballs. Now, what's kind of weird about this is that the thing fires cannonballs, which are specifically made of lead, because that's the only crafting requirements. But for some reason, they explode like grenades. Now, it'd be cool if Bethesda, instead of making this an explosive launcher, made all of the damage, like, I don't know, ballistic, right? So it's kind of like your railway rifle, where it fires a giant metal thing at your enemies, but instead of like a really sharp thing, it's just blunt force trauma. Maybe they could make it do like 1 billion more damage percentage to limbs or something. Alright, this is where the pressure's on. Looks like we'll be coming out on top of this. But the Mylurk Queen, she's a tough old girl. She took it quite well, but a few mags later and she is dead. Alright, so we already knew the Broadsider could do very well against those, and this Broadsider is no exception, but now the real test begins. Can this thing kill Scorchbeasts? Alright, so I'm feeling that the Broadsider is a little bit nervous here. We don't know what to expect from it, except for killing these trash mobs for adrenaline fodder. That's pretty standard there. Looks like we've picked up a random encounter. I'm thinking it might be super mutants. Oh yeah. I know a pipe gun when I hear it, because, you know, every time I bloody log in, there's super mutants shooting at some bugs across from me. Mutant Hound. There he goes. Can you ragdoll them as well? No, you can't ragdoll these guys as well as with the 40mm grenades. Oh, well, that's a point in the grenade launchers thing. Maybe you could use this as a putter, right? If you're playing, like, Mutant Hound Corpse Golf. You could totally use this as a putter, because obviously your 40mm grenade launcher of the 2-shot variety is a 3-wood. Is that an Overeaters? Is that damage reduction? That's good. That's a good bit of armor just for the prefix there. Overeaters Sentinel AP refresh armor. Get on that shit. That's so good. Damage reduction is way better than slightly higher damage resistance, depending on whether you're low or high health with bolstering or Vanguard. It's so good. It's actually overpowered because of how much better it is. Alright, we're seeing some movement in that health bar. I'm pretty sure he actually shat those cannonballs back at me, and that we're making lead balls heat-seeking missiles now. Well, it's working quite well in flight, but this will be telling if it works here when you're on the ground. Well, good news is you can kill them. The bad news is it takes a while. So, in the name of, like, all things fair, versatility, this thing still, like, it's not the be-all, end-all of things. In fact, I would definitely recommend a grenade launcher over this. But you can do it now, and that's good. I am going to remove this Grenadier perk and give this another shot. Yeah, it's all the Grenadier perk. So, you can unfuck the Broadsider, but it'll... Yeah, thanks. It'll cost you a few points in perception, which, you know, 2 points in perception to make to make a broadsider work, you know what? Easy price. It's a good price. Small price to pay. Alright, now that's on the ground, we'll give it another shot. Or another 30. See, that explosion is doing sweet nothing. So what we'll do is we'll do a lightning fast quick draw perk trigger. And then we'll send him to the next life. See you in hell, giant bat. So, it's all in the Grenadier perk. If you don't have the Grenadier perk whilst using the Broadsider, don't expect to be doing as well as you have been seeing during this video. Now, I'm not sure when that perk unlocks. Would you believe I haven't leveled up a character since 0 for a very long time at this point? If I had more than 5 character slots, I probably would have done it, but there you go. It's actually managed to kill a Scorchbeast. On balance, I'd say I'd probably still pick the auto grenade launcher over this because it's got better ammo capacity, slightly more, wouldn't say efficient because this is easy to make with just lead, but it's more consistent versus the things that would get the Broadsider's titties in a twist, you know? The Scorchbeast, they still confuse the Broadsider, but it's smart enough to figure it out these days. A little bit of help with why are we firing at a 0% target? We're better off doing this. There we go. Got him. You gotta shoot this thing a lot to figure out the drop on it. But we will do that no further. I think this has earned itself a place in someone's arsenal. Mine, maybe. I might use it to mess around. Sometimes you get cannonballs off world drops when enemies drop you broadsiders. So if you're not looking to just drop them or get rid of them, you can use them for shits and giggles because you can get away with using this thing now. And since this thing doesn't require heavy gunner perks, you don't need a whole lot of strength to do this. So if you've got a 2-strength stealth commando or gunslinger like me, well, we've got the perception for Grenadier and the intelligence for demo expert and a little bit of bloody mess as well. You can get basically the same performance. You just won't have all of these defensive perks and this utility perk here to keep it killing a lot faster. Keep in mind too that this thing will wear down its condition very quickly. So if you aren't running gunsmith, you can kiss this bad boy goodbye in a few shots. So that's definitely something that I'd mark against it. Unless you have like a shit ton of repair kits to do it with, then that's fine. You can use them because they get heavy if you've got heaps in your inventory. But yeah, it's been improved, and I must say I kind of like where it is, but they just need to increase its consistency a bit more. That might help it a bit, but otherwise it's probably a half-decent weapon now, which is pretty good. This weapon has actually come a long way since it was first in the game, so good job on Bethesda for fixing this weird novelty thing that was a unique and Fallout 4 helping out a bunch of robots on a boat. They fly into a building. That shit wouldn't have flew in 2000, I'll tell you that much. Thank you very much for watching, guys.